Hello everyone, this is MC Deck Discussions and I'm Abi Small, and today we have a quick overview of one of our new heroes that'll be coming with the Civel War campaign, and it's called this article is called On the Hunt, and we're previewing Tigra, who's going to be one of those two new heroes. And you can see her big image here. This is going to be on the hero card. And let's go ahead and start looking at some details. We're going to go right to the cards. I already read the article, so I'll go ahead and give you an overview of everything. So let's start with Greer Nelson here. Let's click on this one so we can get closer up. And let's zoom in some too. All right, so Greer Nelson is her alter ego. She has 3 recovery and the trait of police. So that's a new one. I don't remember ever saying at least. And she has this ability on her alter ego side, Undercover Work, which is an action. Search your deck and discard pile for a copy of Hunted and add it to your hand. Limit once per round. She has 3 copies of Hunted, by the way. They say that later on in the article. And this is a really cool card. Let me show you the hero side first, and then we'll get to Hunted. All right. Oh, it went right to Hunted. But I wanted to go to the hero side, so here we go. All right, so Tigra on her hero side, she has, oh, by the way, she has 10 hit points and a hand size of 6 here when she was on alter ego, hand size of 5 when she's on her hero side, and she has 1 thwart, so that's always a weakness, that we have to work around for a hero, 2 attack and 3 defense. And then let's go ahead now look at that Hunted card. All right, so this is the card that she can pull with her alter ego ability. It's a 0-cost upgrade, and again, it's called Hunted, and it's a condition, and it has this star on it. As an additional cost to play this upgrade, search the encounter deck and discard pile. So this is the first card I remember a hero having when they search out to find a minion, where they get to actually look in the discard pile. So you're going to search the encounter deck and discard pile for a minion and put it into play, engage with you, attach Hunted to that minion, and stun it. And the stunning is important because we actually want to keep minions out for her. We'll see why in a little bit. And she has this interrupt: when attached minion is defeated, ready Tigra. So again, she has 3 of these. So each time each time Tigra ready defeats them, she will ready. Notice it does say Tigra, it doesn't say from a basic attack. So that should mean with any of her, let's say if she has an event that defeats them, then that should ready Tigra as well. So that could mean that maybe she would attack somebody, then, finish off with an event, and she could still ready herself. All right, so let's look at the next one. Oh, there's Tigra. So we went over her already. So again, after the player phase, oh no, we didn't, I only talked about her stats. I didn't talk about her, the rest of her text here. So she is an Avenger. Each minion with a copy of Hunted attached loses guard. So that's pretty cool. So when I mentioned before about her, she could attack, right? Go right through, ignore guard, attack the villain, use, say, an event to defeat a minion, and then she could still ready herself. She has this ability on her hero side, On the Hunt. It's a response. After the player phase begins, draw 1 card for each minion engaged with you to a maximum of 3. So that's why the stunning is so important on her. Let's go back to that on her Hunted card. Right? So when attached minion is defeated, ready Tigra, but to begin with, attach Hunted to the minion that she searched for and stun it. So stunning them is important. She wants to leave them out in play when she can, because once again, when we saw on her hero side, right, response, after the player phase begins, draw 1 card for each minion engaged with you. So she doesn't necessarily want to defeat them, and a lot of times does not want to defeat them when on her turn. Or at least initially. Eventually she'll have to, but initially she wants to leave them out when she can, keep them neutralized when she can, or minimize their impact, but utilize them for her card draw at the beginning of a turn, right? So if she starts on her hero side, which it would have to be the hero side for this, she has her hand size of 5, but she could have 6, 7, or even 8 cards right off the bat because she'll draw some more right at the beginning of her turn at the player phase. All right. She also has she has this upgrade here called Cat's Head Amulet, a 2-cost upgrade. It's an artifact and an item. And this is a resource generator. By the way, you can see her necklace here, right? So the cat's, or amulet, Cat's Head Amulet. So she has this resource, exhaust Cat's Head Amulet, generate a physical resource for each minion engaged with you. So again, this could be worth nothing, but if she has minions out, it could be worth 1, 2, or 3 physical resources. Then talking about events earlier, so this is her attack, and this is a superpower, and I seem to remember something else being a superpower too, maybe later on. Was it this previous one? Okay, not yet, but I remember there being at least something else that's a superpower, and I'm going to assume she has, at least 2 of these, right? That would be pretty typical. And so it's attack and superpower, cost of 4, but wait, there's more. Reduce the cost to play this event by 1 for each minion engaged with you. So as soon as it's down to 1, this costs 3, but even at cost of 3, this looks pretty good, right? Hero action, attack, deal 4 damage to an enemy. Notice it's not necessarily a minion. Deal 4 damage to an enemy. So you could choose 2 different enemies, but you could choose the same enemy. So even at a cost of 4, this deals 8 damage 2 different times, which, you could have some ways to enhance those attacks with, some different cards that we have in the game. So they could be, worth more damage-wise. So even that's pretty good, right? 4 for 8, but choosing where you want that 2 of those to go. But she can reduce it to 3, 2, or even a cost of 1, depending upon how many of those, how many minions she has engaged with her. I guess there's no limit to the reduction on this. So if she had 4 minions, then she could actually, it would cost 0, right? So this would be one of those attacks I mentioned that could be, utilized to help defeat multiple minions and possibly ready, if they have hunted attached anyway, and possibly ready our hero. Moving on, we have another upgrade called Sharp Claws, and it's a 1-cost upgrade, and it is a weapon, but notice it is not restricted. So any of those things, so that means she could include some restricted weapons in her deck. Has this interrupt: when you make a basic attack, exhaust Sharp Claws, Tigra gets +1 ATK for this attack, and then you choose one of these 2. You could either get Overkill or you could get Piercing. So, and there could be benefits to either one, of course, but in her deck, she might purposefully choose one or the other based on some other cards that are coming up, right? So, and notice there would only be one of these, I would assume, because it does say Sharp Claws, right? So that's plural. So that implies to me she wouldn't necessarily have another one of these. All right, looking at the next card, another 1-cost upgrade, Cat-like Reflexes. This is the other superpower I was mentioning, or that I was thinking of from earlier. Has a hero interrupt, and it's an upgrade. So a lot of times, those don't necessarily have superpower listed on them. Hero interrupt: when you would take any amount of damage, discard Cat-like Reflexes, prevent 3 of that damage. You may confuse a minion engaged with you. So that can help you with keeping a minion out when you want to go down to alter ego side and not have to worry about them putting any threat on the scheme. So that's kind of nice. Right? And then moving on to the next one. So preventing 3 damage. So it's nice of it being an upgrade, right? One of those cards that you can just keep out there till you need it. Also notice this is not from an attack. It is a hero interrupt, but it's not from an attack. When you would take any amount of damage. So it could be attack, but it could be from any source. Okay. Then her next one is a support, 2-cost support, Precinct HQ. And it is a location. This is an alter ego action. So once you get it over there to alter ego, you can take advantage of those minions out there, because you can exhaust Precinct HQ and remove 1 threat from a scheme, which in my opinion, that's already worth it at a cost of 2. That anytime you go to alter ego, you could remove 1 threat from a scheme. But since you want to keep minions out, you can remove 1 additional threat for each minion engaged with you. So even those minions who might not be confused, then maybe they had done some thwarting, you can counteract that afterwards. Moving on to the next one. So that's it for the cards that are her identity-specific cards that are coming in her pack. In addition, she comes with Aggression, for part of her pack. And so this is one of those ways that we can help to eventually get rid of those allies, or excuse me, those minions. So it's a 3-cost ally called Two Gun Kid, Matthew Hawk. Has 1 thwart and 2 attack, but notice there's a star on it. And it has this interrupt. Oh, he's also an Avenger, by the way. Has this interrupt. When Two Gun Kid makes a basic attack, choose 2 enemies instead of 1. Notice 2 enemies. So it could be the it could be 2 minions, but it might be a minion and the villain. And you can choose 2 enemies instead of 1 and resolve this attack against each of them. And I did forget to mention he has 1 consequential damage for both the thwart and the attack, but that doesn't increase or anything by choosing 2 enemies to attack. So that's really nice. Moving on to the next image, we have a 2-cost event, Coup de Grace. This is an attack as well, so another way to defeat villains. Hero action, an attack. Defeat a non-elite minion with an upgrade attached. Ignore any when defeated abilities. So of course she has her hunted upgrade that might be attached, but wait, there's another one. Suppressing fire, which sounds familiar to me, so I think maybe we had this already. 0-cost upgrade, attached to a minion, max 1 per minion. Hero interrupt when you attack and defeat attached minion. Heal 2 damage from your hero. And we have, of course, all kinds of other upgrades, including 0-cost upgrades in other aspects as well. I can think off the top of my head, at least, protection, we have some really nice 0-cost upgrades there. So some good options there for upgrades. Although, actually, this particular ability had to have been for the red aspect, right, for our aggression. All right, so then with suppressing fire, we have 2 more images left. We also have a 3-cost event that's a Savage Strike. Is a skill, it's a hero interrupt. Notice this one is not an attack, and you'll see why in a little bit. When you make a basic attack, you get +6 attack ATK for this attack. This attack gains piercing. So if we come back to some of her other cards that we showed before, so let me find that. Oh, actually, there's already a card that can enhance this, which is image number 13, right? So she has her own 2 attack, plus this is going to give +6 attack. And then there's this 3-cost aggression upgrade called Aggressive Conditioning, and it is a condition. Play under any player's control, 1 max per player. You get +3 hit points, and your hero gets +1 ATK. So not only are you tougher now, but also that extra +1 ATK. So she had 2 ATK to begin with, +6 more here, that makes 8. +1 more here makes 9. And then we had a card earlier up in the article, which was, I believe, Tooth and Claw. Nope, that's not the one. Oh, Sharp Claws. There we go. So she also has her Sharp Claws. When you make a basic attack, right, exhaust Sharp Claws, Tigra gets +1 ATK. So that's a total of 10 ATK for her attacks. And she could choose then to have Overkill, because that other card that we mentioned gave her piercing. Which card was that? Let's double check to make sure. Yes, so the Savage Strike event that gives her +6 ATK, that attack gains piercing already. So you could use her other card that we just mentioned, her Sharp Claws, could grant not only the extra ATK, but she could choose Overkill with this one, since she chooses between the 2, since the other card already gives piercing. So some pretty cool stuff here. So that's all I wanted to share from this article. And hope you enjoyed this update. Have a great one, everybody.